Hello, Laura here again. I wanted to record a video about Jehovah's Witnesses and whether they are loving or hateful, which I think is a very good question. You know, recently there's been a couple countries that have put them on trial for hate speech and being extreme. I think and I'm kind of happy to see that. I'll be honest, because I think Jehovah's Witnesses is definitely one of those religions that are not as loving as they would make themselves out to be on the surface. And definitely not. And I wanted to make this video to share a few examples of how I have personally seen and think that they are not so much full of love. I think it leans more towards full of hate. Now, Jehovah's Witnesses, there are some ways that they show love. Like, I can't fully deny that they have love, but you see the love more when it comes to shown between other Jehovah's Witnesses, mainly, not so much anybody that's on the outside. Like, one prime example would be how much love they show to anybody who's newly studying. You know, love bombing at the Kingdom Hall, lots of them trying to befriend anybody that's newer. But once you've been in a bit, the love kind of dies off. You know, I was in for 18 years, so I was shown love. Oh yeah, I was, in some ways, yeah, I was shown love. But there was a lot of ways that I saw a lot of lack of love too. And here are examples of ones that I have thought of. First one, I could think inactive ones. JWs that are considered inactive are ones that, like, don't come to the meetings a lot, don't go out in service a lot, that you just don't see much of them. Now, I know in recent years that JWs are to view them more as though they're disfellowshipped, so to have less and less association with them. And I personally witnessed there would like, some of the inactive would get shepherding calls, but from my experiences, the ones that got shepherding calls were more of ones that had been witnesses for a long time. Not everybody got that. You know, like, inactive ones tended to just be more left alone or ignored. I saw plenty of times where ones would, like, they would you wouldn't see them coming to the meetings anymore, and they wouldn't even get a visit from the elders or a phone call even. Like, what's up with that? I remember being encouraged from the platform to be cautious of spiritually weak ones in the congregation. You know, ones that just didn't seem to be strong in the truth, like even when it came down to how they dressed or their hairstyle, or if they seemed a little bit more worldly, or even when it came to stuff like if they didn't comment a lot or go out in service a lot, they would be considered spiritually weak. There's a lot you gotta do to be considered active and in good standing. And it's ridiculous, man. Oh, man. It was... I remember thinking, like, shouldn't we be showing love and encouragement to people like this rather than avoiding and ignoring them because like somehow their spiritually weakness is gonna infect us somehow. Like, other example, really good one, disfellowshipped ones. Whoa. Shunning comes right to my head. Shunning. Yep. If they're disfellowshipped, we're to view them as though they're dead. No contact whatsoever. And what really turns it into a hateful attitude is we are to do this even if they're a family member, and even if that family member is a minor. Wow. I could not imagine myself doing that to any of my family members, especially if they were underage or minor. You know, it's even like we're they are to consider disfellowshipped ones, you know, demon, like controlled by Satan and the demons, mentally diseased, goats, lost. Like, wow. Like, just terms like that, it doesn't, how can you get much more hateful than that? Like, really? Like, Jehovah's Witnesses is one of those religions, it's very easy to join and become a member, but if you ever leave, you are severely punished. Like, you lose everything you ever known in that religion, you lose. I had a few good friendships when I was a Jehovah's Witness during the years I was in, and I enjoyed those friendships, and I left. And when I left, I think that's one of the reasons I was a little bit slower to leave, just building myself up because I knew I was gonna lose those friends. But in the long run, the biggest thing I tell myself is that if I have to stay in a religion that I know is wrong and not right, but if the only way to keep those friendships is to stay in that religion, well then, you know what? They're not true friends. It's as simple as that. people in the ministry. I remember lots of times when we were out in service, and like if people's homes, like if they had religious decorations up or holiday decorations up, like in the witness mind, like they're just like thinking like lost goats. Like if the people we talked to tried to express their own religious beliefs or really question or draw us into a debate, we would like, how the more so we would just kind of want to get out of there and avoid them or add them to our do not call lists. It was like the less chance we had of being able to talk to them and try to convert them, the more of a goat they were. And even though they would express a religious belief, we would still see them as lost or, like misled in false religion. Like wow. It was, and it just comes to my head, man, like you talk about, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that do not like and hate Jehovah's Witnesses coming to their door in the first place. That's definitely out there, for sure. But like Jehovah's Witnesses, like they have a very sour view, a sour, low, very negative view of anybody who's basically not a Jehovah's Witness. And any Jehovah's Witness doesn't necessarily see it that way. No, like they don't see how negative their thinking and opinions really are of anybody who's not a JW. I noticed there also seemed to be like an unwritten rule when it came to Bible studies. Like we would start a study with some people, but after a few months, if we couldn't get them to come to meetings, or if we couldn't get them to change their lifestyle, like taking control over their lifestyle, you could say, to get them to change some things in their life, or trying to tell them that what they were taught in their religion is wrong and only our religion is right, or basically when really the control part of they start to try to enforce that a lot more. That's when, and if the Bible study didn't want to do it, they would just stop studying with those ones. Like, wow, otherwise if the converting of that person isn't going to go smoothly, then we can't, then I guess they don't have the right heart condition and we have to stop studying. And just same as in the ministry, I found the treatment of unbelievers. JWs are definitely told to very much limit their association with any outside people. I think there's a lot of families where the kids are homeschooled. I knew of a lot of adult witnesses that were self-employed. And I think the main reasons were to control their hours, to be able to set their own hours, and so that they didn't have to deal with worldly bosses and co-workers. a worldly person to a Jehovah's Witness, like a very low, downright pessimistic, negative view of people outside the religion, they must get drunk all the time and party all the time and gamble and be into, be into a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, only we have it right. The God, remember in the congregation there'd be a lot of gossip and making fun of and putting down basically of the outsiders. A lot of it of how they celebrated worldly holidays and like any outsider was just like totally lost and misled. It's like Jehovah's Witnesses put themselves on a pedestal and such a high spot, and anybody outside our religion is just low life, scum of the earth, loser. Wow. Another example I thought of is all the artwork and illustrations over the years that have appeared in Watchtower, and lately videos too. All the Armageddon pictures that appeared in the literature of people dying in very violent ways. I just like to see this artwork and to not find it disturbing. There's even violent pictures in some of their children's books. I have seen many and I find them very disturbing. I don't think it's right that children should be exposed to that kind of thing. Like, you're gonna put out pictures like that, like all their Armageddon illustrations, and then try to convince you that they're a loving organization. Yeah, right. I just, looking back, like, how did I ever think like that was the right way to think? Like, I remember many times sitting there and like daydreaming during the day about, I can't wait till Armageddon comes and all false religion is gone and every bad person dies, and just like how much we need this to happen, and waiting like we can't wait, and meanwhile what we're waiting for is an event that would be far worse than all the wars and battles that man has fought over the years, worse than all of them combined. Like we're talking about an event that's going to be very violent, very gruesome, very horrific. That would be almost like an extinction level event, even though not full extinction, but nearly. And it's like, the JW's view is like, this is a wonderful thing that's going to happen in the very near future. Like, genocide, like, really? And then I have watched a few videos, like on the JW broadcasting. I've seen, like, and some of the governing body members are like like, and they've actually said it, like, I can't wait till all the apostates are dead and gone, and everybody who opposes our religion is gone and dead. You know, what was it? Burnt up like hot dogs. Like, wow, no, there's a governing body member right there. Like, wow, there's hate speech right there. You know what? I personally am not hateful or resentful of any current JWs that we're still in. Heck, if it wasn't for the way they shunned, I would still be open to talk to some of my former friends. It's more of them that have to, I'd say it's more of their decision that they have to fully shun me and avoid me and think I'm evil, and yet on my side, I do not think of that way towards them. I would still be open to talking or saying hi to them. Like, I do not have hatred towards any of them. No, just I left, you know. I left, I'm done. I'm never going back. And I look at all these examples of how they're actually more full of hate than love. And like, some days I feel stupid that I was part of a religion for so long, and I never and then I never woke up to, like, you're actually thinking that way. Like, some of these views, like, you don't see a problem with that. Well, you know what? At least the good thing is I am out now. And I'm enjoying making these videos because I just think there's a lot of information that needs to get out about the witnesses that they will never tell you themselves or admit to themselves. And I really think people need to know what the Jehovah's Witnesses are really like. And me being a former member myself and having 18 years of seeing what it's really like in there, I am definitely, you're gonna get the truth from me because I've been in. I know what it's like. They're not as loving as they would try to lead you to believe at the start. They're not. I believe that they ultimately show more hate than love. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. Feel free. I appreciate anybody newly watching. Thank you. I hope you all have a good week, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.